David, I know you like to use 3D, and I'm sure you've had the chance to use AutoCAD 2010 with 3D design.
3D is something that we've asked for years in AutoCAD, but I think a lot of people, once they saw it, didn't use it because it was hard, it was different. So one of the nice things is that 3D is as easy to use now as 2D. In fact, you use much the same commands. You draw a circle, you can press and pull on that circle and convert it into a cylinder. So
and
it's
that was
very
starting
easy
with
to manipulate
2007, right? Where
It was.
we really enhanced that functionality and made it more
Right.
like 2D.
So now with 2010, a lot of the things that we were using have simply become easier. The 3D gizmos, they were there before, but now it's easy to switch from one gizmo to another. So while the gizmo's visible, if you need to rotate something, you just switch from a move gizmo to a rotate gizmo.
And scale is new in 3D.
And scale is new.
Yeah. So you can scale selected sub-object selection filters.
Sub-object selection filters. So before, you could go in and you could select a vertex or a face or an edge, but it was difficult to get exactly what you wanted. Now you've got a filter, so if you know that all you want to do is get an edge, you can filter it down so the only thing AutoCAD is going to select is an edge.
That's a huge plus, isn't it?
It really is. The other thing that I love, though, about 2010 is the ability to go from solids to meshes and back to solids or surfaces, because a lot of times we'll be trying to model something, and while solids are great and are much easier to work with, because you know that something is a solid primitive, sometimes you just want to get some sophistication to the curve, and the only way you're ever going to be able to do that is to convert it into a mesh so that now you've got these various facets that you can manipulate. But then eventually you're going to have to mold this plastic object, let's say. And so you can, once you've got the shape the way you want it, you can convert it back from a mesh back into a solid, and then use the solid commands that you've always used to create a shell, for example.
So the solids in many ways give you the precision of specific shapes, like,
Right.
like you said, the primitives. But the meshes, you can do the free-form, smooth mesh
Right, so you can
objects.
create something that's organic. If you look at most things in the world today, you know, design is what differentiates them, and in order to get nice, smooth flowing curves, you have to work with meshes. But eventually you've got to be able to create a solid because you've got to be able to machine or mold that part.
Great. Well, it's much easier to do now with AutoCAD 2010.
It really is.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, David.
You're welcome.